I, for one, am excited because knowing that I can finally go to Japan after so long is exciting. Soon, a lot of them are not going to obey the cultural rules and societal rules as many other people would. I'm assuming my prediction, and which I hope doesn't happen, is that many Japanese will probably feel unsafe around foreigners. And even though the pandemic is pretty much over in the West, if there's COVID spikes in Japan, and trust me when I say this, there are many people who are itching to enter Japan. So do you think that foreigners coming may cause problems for the Japanese people? Do you think foreigners won't wear masks? What is your prediction? Konbanwa minasan, kyo desu. So it was recently announced that Japan will be opening its borders again on October 11th. I, for one, am excited because knowing that I can finally go to Japan after so long is exciting because it was hard to guess when Japan was going to open up again. So overall, I'm excited. However, I do have some concerns and predictions about the future about what possibly might happen after October 11th. I'm a bit worried for Japan in some ways because now that Japan is opening up again, I'm pretty sure tourism is going to explode in the first few months because a lot of people are just itching to go to Japan, and Japan is a popular tourist destination. And because COVID is pretty much over at this point, a lot of people are now traveling because being locked up for 2 years, you want to explore and do different things. So there is going to be a lot of people coming to Japan. One concern that I have is that in the West, COVID is pretty much over at this point. In America, we're not obligated to wear masks. There's not necessarily a social obligation to do it. Though in some pockets in America, depending where you live, may be a little bit more paranoid about the virus. However, where I live in South Florida, like literally nobody's wearing masks at this point. Recently, I came back from Europe and I went to Poland, and I kid you not, nobody was wearing a mask in Poland at all. So now there's not as much a scare of COVID as before because the virus is pretty similar to the common cold or a typical flu. And it's not that dangerous if you don't have any pre-medical conditions, or if you're a healthy young person, you don't have to worry about COVID. If you're an older person, maybe over your 70s, 80s, I would say yes, of course, be careful. But at the same time, if you're a young, healthy person without any kind of like serious health problems, you should be fine. So pretty much no one is really wearing masks anymore. I've been to Turkey as well. When I went to Turkey, no one was wearing a mask. So basically masks are almost non-existent at this point. However, because Japan, even before the pandemic, had a culture of wearing a mask when you were sick, culturally speaking, Japan is still wearing a lot of masks heavily. And I know part of it, as I've talked to some Japanese people, is because Japan has a high older population, and because older people are susceptible to COVID or the virus more, they tend to wear masks, kind of look out for each other because that's Japanese culture, to look out for the group and to be in harmony. And culturally, it seems like Japan is still wary of the virus and everybody's wearing a mask. And I've talked to some Japanese people, and a lot of them don't want to wear the mask, but they feel like if they don't wear it, they're going to get looked down upon. Either way, I said that to say this. I believe because a lot of foreigners are going to be entering Japan soon, a lot of them are not going to obey the cultural rules and societal rules as many other people would. And I expect that there's going to be a lot of foreigners who come to Japan and do not wear masks. And for me, I think this might clash with how the Japanese are still operating because many Japanese still wear masks. I'm assuming my prediction, and which I hope doesn't happen, is that many Japanese will probably feel unsafe around foreigners because I'm pretty sure a lot of them are not going to wear a mask. And even though the pandemic is pretty much over in the West, if there's COVID spikes in Japan, I'm wary if the Japanese government and the Japanese people are going to be a little bit afraid of that. Then you'll have some people saying, well, it's because Japan opened our borders, they're allowing all these foreigners to come in, COVID spike, maybe it's because they're not wearing a mask, what do we do? Depending how bad it might get, which I hope it doesn't get bad, I'm timid or concerned if Japan might try to close her borders again to prevent, I guess, a new spread. But at the same time, that wouldn't help because tourism was a big part of Japan's economy. And because COVID caused every country to shut down, Japan's tourist economy really suffered for that. And I think Japan needs tourism to kind of help restart the economy in some ways. So probably they won't close Japan again, but I'm predicting there's going to be some conflict with that. Or maybe it would encourage Japanese people to not wear masks. I'm not too sure. And because foreigners are going to be coming soon, I'm guessing they may be a raise in criminal activity. There might be more conflict. Again, there might be a little surge of COVID spreading around. But I think because, again, Japan was so isolated for so long, historically speaking, it's like a similar thing happening again. I'm hoping it's not going to be too much of a shock that Japan is going to be meeting people who are not gonna feel obligated necessarily to wear a mask. Culturally, again, Japan is still having many of its people wear masks. I'm wondering if there's gonna be conflict with that. And trust me when I say this, there are many people who are itching to enter Japan. So after October 11th, I think that the tourist economy is going to boom. That's my prediction. But I really want to know what you guys think, because do you guys feel concerned about Japan opening up again? Do you think that foreigners coming may cause problems for the Japanese people? Do you think foreigners won't wear masks? What is your predictions about this upcoming opening of Japan? Please let me know in the comment section below. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. Also hit that bell as well to get notified whenever we post a video. Honto, arigatou gozaimasu. Mina, 気をつけて。じゃあね。